Right then, back on with the chimney breast. So far, I've done the recesses. What I'll do is I'll just show you up the sides. The reason I do the recesses first is because of the overlap. I don't want you seeing the where you can sometimes see it when it dries on that wall. In the corner here it doesn't matter. There you go. You can just see I've come round the corner just a little bit. So all the prep has been done. I'll give it a light sand down with some P180 just to kind of clean a bit. First thing I'm going to do is check how straight the picture rail is. Alright, so that's way out, but no problem, we can get around that. Notice how I've got the scaffold. I've got the steps so they go around the corner a little bit, so I can work on each side. Right, so the next step is just put that there. I know the width of my lining paper is 22 inches, but I want a bit of an overlap, and I know this is out, so I want to make sure I'll start at this end because that's where it ran out. Going over the picture rail, I'm going to measure down 22 and put a pencil mark. And then easy down here. Typical. Go above it. And then you put a line on the wall. Doesn't matter too much about going round the corner. Because you're not keeping any pattern in you know, just that line on front. I've already got my lengths, 4 lengths, I've already got them pasted up. Taking the first length, make sure you've got your paste brush ready, scissors. Get me down cloth in a minute. So you've got your line to work from, but you need a start point from your length. So taking your length, open it up and offer it into the corner, remembering to give it a little bit of an overlap. So you know now you've got enough paper around there, so then you can open another length. Bring it round to the front, then you can find your line, push it around, there you go. Following the line, always brush from side to side, not like that because you can brush it about. You're not after brushing the paste out. You're actually brushing the air from the back of the paper. So, now, when you come to this first bull nose, find the underneath edge of your picture rail, and then taking your scissors, make a few cuts on the corner. Sometimes you have to do 2 or 3. Doesn't matter if you go over a little bit. I mean, I've put about 5 or 6 in there. I'll show you in a minute. And then Just allow the paper to come round nicely on that bull nose. And make sure your paper is nicely tucked into the edges before you make any cuts. Deal with this side first. Again, finding the corner, taking the scissors and making a few cuts. It's a lot easier putting lining paper up than actually putting the finished paper on, but we'll come across that soon enough. Right, what I'll do now is I'll put some pencil marks on things and then you can have a look. You can see the relief cuts there that I've done. And let's just have a look at the other end. Ooh. Same there. I'll put some pencil line around that. I've already penciled up the corner there. So, next stage is to do the trimming. For some reason the camera just went off then and you've missed where I've trimmed along the front there with the Stanley knife, which is a pity, but never mind. So what you want to do is once you've trimmed it off, make sure you wipe it off with a damp cloth, the paste. And like I say, some parts of it I'll actually use my scissors because it's just as quick, but it leaves a neater edge. So I'll finish the trimming and we'll see you on the next bit. Right then, I've changed the camera because I was frightened of it going off again. So here we go. Right, that piece is done. Out the way, let's get food. So, first piece went on quite good, not a problem. You know, the edges are quite straight really. So usually the second piece where you start getting problems. But again, opening it up, working off the wall, so you've got your return of an inch to 2 inches. Come round to the front again, and then again, the first bit is getting that straight on there, back to your line. That side in a minute. There's this. Now, this is the bit where you end up with your problems. Keep that there. You can only see what it looks like when you come round the corner. So, bring it round so you've got no bubbles. And then see how it looks. And if you can manipulate it, where this one looks like it's only a dreg. So I've actually been able to push that back in and just lose it on that down bit there. That's done well on that one, that has. there's a little bit of a bubble there, so I'm not going to, that's done it, stretch that out and it's done. Again, it's a lot easier with lining paper than a finished paper, and it's a lot easier with this stuff than fibre liner. Fibre liner, you just can't manipulate it. So while I'm here, I'm just going to finish this cut and go around to the other side. You can have a look in a minute. In fact, it's not done enough that, so where it's actually overlapping now, because I'm not having that bubble there, I'm going to get rid of that. Where it actually overlaps, taking my pencil, finding the other line of the other paper, I'm just going to draw a line across. And then I'm just going to cut it with my scissors, because there being a fine gap doesn't matter, because I can deal with that. Once I've emulsioned it, I can actually put some hard stop filler on there, and if I wasn't going to emulsion it, I can still put some filler in there before I put my finished paper on. You can try and splice them, but sometimes they're that small that you're dealing with, you can't cut it. So you're better off just making it bigger and then dealing it with it that way. Quick and simple. I'm going to wipe that paste off there in a minute. What I'll do is I'll try and get the camera around here now and show you this one. So, pulling it back off the wall, making sure it's nice on that corner. Do you know, that's lined in perfect, that. So that's not too bad. I do like that. Check for no bubbles. Remember to wipe paste off anywhere you touch. Now, well, that. Next, please. and this one's run out, so I'll show you. In fact, it's not that bad at all. After I'm just flying that out. No, that's not too bad at all, so I'm going to leave that one. Because I've had a bit of a bit to play with where I cut it. Still alright. I'll show you that cut in a minute. Always double check everything, because once it's dry, you can't redo it. I mean, you can cut bubbles out. It is quite forgiving to lining paper. You can actually do quite a lot with it. But finished paper, you jiggered. Right. Let's have a look at this one again. Right then. When you're handling your paper and you're ever taking it off the wall and stuff, never try and touch it on any edge. That's going to be really close to the overlap. The edges, the joints. Always try and touch it away from the joint. You know. Anyway, finish this. That's overlapping there, but how much? Let's have a look. Right, I'm going to cut some off, that was too much. I'll go now. So again, where it's overlapping, taking your pencil, you can find that edge, and then just make a mark across. Just cut along the other pencil line, just below it. Like I say, you can try and do this with a blade, but usually I find it can tear the paper, you can end up looking worse. You've got to fill it anyway by the end of it, so. I mean, I've probably cut too much off that, but it doesn't matter, because I know a little bit of hard stop filler after the first coat. If you was putting a finished paper on this, you can put some polyfiller in there, or you can use a cork, which is a similar colour to the actual lining paper. But you probably have to fill them twice before you put your paper across. last piece. Now sometimes these bottom pieces you need to trim a bit. This isn't too bad. I've only got about, say, 4 or 5 inches overlap. So then now the corner first. Open it up a little bit and work again onto that front edge, because that's where you want to keep it in line. Now what I'm going to do is put a bit of a relief cut down here. It's always go back, find that corner first. I'll show you that in a second, what I've just done there. Always making sure your joint isn't overlapping as you go. So on that other side I found the corner, come down, 1 cut, and another 2 either side. Taking your pencil, do some marking. That's not too bad there. It's actually run out, so there's going to be a little bit of filling needs doing there. So I'll show you that in a minute. Sometimes the light in the room really does make a difference on how much you can see things. It's not too good in here. Left a light at work. Right, that one I'm going to just do with my scissors. I do all them with my scissors because trying to cut them with the blade, sometimes it will just turn. So I'm just going to do a little bit of filling needs doing there. So I'll show you that in a minute. Sometimes the light in the room really does make a difference on how much you can see things. It's not too good in here. Sometimes the light in the room really does make a difference on how much you can see things. Yeah, just get me to roll. I'm going to use my Stanley knife like I did with the top. Usually long cuts like that I do, but not on a finished paper. It's just, it can be a nightmare. That's only just cut through that. Always fold your paper up so your paste is covered and try and chuck it away. The last thing you want to do is stand on that and slip. So I'll show you down this side here. And you can see it's run out. A little bit of filling needs doing there. But I'd rather have it running out like that than having to bother cutting it. It's nice when they just join up, but you never get that. No. Bump. That's one. There you go. Now, if you was putting a finished paper on, you'd actually finish the woodwork first and then put your finished paper on. So all these edges would be neatened up slightly with a little bit of your undercoat and gloss, just a little bit. But because I'm actually going to emulsion this, the woodwork gets done last. Let's quick look at some of these joints. That's one that run out coming round the corner. Then you've got the cuts at the bottom. That's one I actually cut. I'm not too bothered about the gap, the size of the gap, because again, bit of filler, no problem. That one actually fitted in nicely. Again, cut round the corner. So again, that one ran out, needs a bit of filler. The corner. That one actually fitted in. There's no overlap that at all, there's no gap. And that one I actually cut. Corner again. There you go, how to line a chimney breast.